Let's review the LEGO Star Wars boarding the Tantive 4. Numbered 75387, this set was released with the March 2024 wave of sets and retails for $90 Australian or 55 US dollars. This set is oddly cheaper in the US than the $70 US Sith Infiltrator, although they are priced the same at $90 in Australia. This set is for ages 8+ and has 502 pieces, including 6 minifigures in addition to the limited ARC Trooper 5's minifigure. Make sure to like and subscribe to see this set compared to the Sith Infiltrator, and if you haven't already, check out my Sith Infiltrator review. This set is based off of the iconic opening scene of the very first Star Wars movie, A New Hope, and is set to retire sometime within mid to late 2025. Taking a look at the box, you have the Tantive hallway located in the Tantive hallway. This Tantive hallway inception makes for an odd box art design, but any other design probably wouldn't have worked. This set has the blue box art colour, celebrating the 25th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars. And at the top of the box, we have the Captain Antilles minifigure to scale. The back of the box shows another angle of the model, along with play features we'll be taking a look at when we have the set built. This set's box size matches other $90 sets, so it does make this set's price feel justified. That is, in Australia. In US dollars, it certainly makes the Sith Infiltrator not seem worth the extra $15. Opening up the box, we have bags numbered 1 to 5, along with a small sticker sheet and regular instruction manual inferior to past manuals. The fun has been removed from these manuals on the front cover, and now they're not even advertising for other sets at the back. They do, however, advertise the wacky idea of combining 2 of this set to make a longer Tantive hallway. Don't forget to scan the QR code on the front for insider points. In case you were wondering, the first bag has the 2 Rebel Fleet Troopers, the second bag has the 2 Stormtroopers, the third bag has Captain Antilles, and the 5th bag has Darth Vader and 5s. Funnily enough, 5s comes in the 5th bag. And, whilst stopping at 5s, just look at the amount of pieces going into this figure. Let's take a look at all these figures. Getting into the figures, this set has a plethora of amazing figures, including Darth Vader, Captain Antilles, 2 Stormtroopers, 2 Rebel Troopers, and 5s. All these figures make sense, besides ARC Trooper 5s, who's here to celebrate the 25th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars. 5s is certainly a welcome addition to LEGO Star Wars, but what about these figures' quality? Let's go in depth to each figure individually. Starting with Darth Vader, this is the same figure we've been getting for a while now. LEGO's definitely gone the right way with this figure. The only way I can see it getting better is with red tinted eyes or side leg printing. This figure has the normal soft cape, 2-piece helmet, white head underneath, and red lightsaber accessory. This figure is a necessary figure for this set, but isn't all that special. Next up, we have the 2 Stormtroopers. These figures are unique to the set due to their heads underneath, both of which are different for each figure. Other than that, these are the normal Stormtroopers with blaster accessories and white hips, which I think looks much better compared to the previous black hips. But the helmet is a bit of a downgrade, although I would say the only bad thing about this helmet is the inability to turn it sideways. I think the helmet looks pretty good otherwise. Moving on to Captain Antilles, this figure is a great inclusion and looks good, although the legs have no detail or dual molding. This figure has 2 facial expressions, with the chin strap, silver tinted blaster, and the same helmet piece as usual, which I find falls off really easily. The 2 Rebel Troopers are pretty standard. I prefer Imperials personally, but these figures are quite nice and army buildable. They both share the same dual-sided headpiece. Whilst you can move their heads around so they look different, I think they should have had different headpieces. These figures suffer the same problem as Captain Antilles when it comes to the legs. These figures share Captain Antilles' helmet and silver blaster accessory. One thing I've seen other YouTubers point out is that this figure lacks the skin print on the top of the chest area. It's not that noticeable though, and I think these Rebel Trooper figures are good. Finally, the highlight figure in this set, and the only one that stands out as limited and never before made in LEGO, Clone ARC Trooper 5s. This figure is the most controversial figure in this set, so let's get into it. This figure comes with a printed 25th anniversary stand and DC-17 dual blaster accessories. This stand can connect with other 25th anniversary stands. Moving the stand and accessories out of the way, we can get a good look at this figure. 5s in the Clone Wars is a very detailed character when it comes to armor and capes, so I can see it being challenging translating that into LEGO. Starting at the helmet, the print is a bit off, but the markings are there. You're able to accurately attach a rangefinder to the helmet. Whilst here, the helmet hole problem still hasn't been fixed. There are extra visor pieces included, so you can customize your 5s minifigure. The head underneath is incredible. I love it when clones get unique head prints. The cloth pauldron is flat on the top, which looks bad to put it simply. This figure has tremendous arm printing, definitely a star aspect of this figure. The torso print is fine, and at the back we have this backpack, which looks good and is accurate, but covers up the print underneath. It's fine though because the print is pretty boring. Moving on to the legs, there's no cloth waist cape where there should be, and instead just a print which does not look good. Despite everywhere this figure goes wrong, it's still ARC Trooper 5s. You can tell it's 5s, and for that I think this figure is great. Is it as great as it could and should be? No, but it's still an incredibly detailed figure and pushed me to buy this set. The figure's quality isn't as good as it could be, with the lack of leg detail on the Rebel figures and 5s' problems, but the quantity and selection is incredible in this set, and that alone I believe makes it worth purchasing. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's take a look at the build. The building experience is overall fine, the stickers minus some points from the experience, but the build is pretty simple and fun, with some sideways building techniques for the doorways which makes it quite satisfying to put together. At first glance of the Tantive hallway, I would say it looks better with figures. Nonetheless, the build is really cool and sleek. I thought this build would suffer from the same problem as the Obi-Wan Darth Vader duel set, as well as the latest Duel on Prettier set, where they're more figure-focused sets. I would say that LEGO was going for more of a figure-focused set with this sporting the Tantive set, but this build is one of the better versions of the figure-focused sets. Going in depth, from right to left with aesthetics, there are Technic pin gaps showing so you can connect this build to another Tantive hallway if you wish, as seen earlier in the instructions. I think it would look better if it was tiled off, but this doesn't look that bad. There's the sleek doorway off to the side, and in between this and the walls you can see some of the sticker details on the columns. The columns are accurate and give depth to the build, which looks aesthetically pleasing. The curved white pieces are really effective in capturing the look of the Tantive hallway, the way the walls curve from the floor to the roof. The ingot pieces work really well, and I love the grill pieces placed in front of the red 1x2s. The walls are put together so well and look very clean and mostly tiled off. On this wall to the left we have more ingots on the side and this accurate red sticker. There's this blocky textured wall with gaps between each of the tiles and blocks which I don't really like. The door is printed here, thankfully limiting the stickers. Looking at the floor, there's a good amount of studs to place figures, although there are some holes in the floor which take away from the aesthetic. Out the front we have these elements poking out which are here for play. I wouldn't say they take away from the aesthetic. Underneath the set it looks normal, you won't be seeing it like this much. The aesthetic is surprisingly good for a figure-focused set, not taking into account the back of the build which looks pretty horrendous. I would not recommend displaying this set from the back, but that's the case with most sets, like the LEGO Trash Compactor. Now for the play features, let's start by throwing the figures on. This definitely fills out the build and brings the scene to life. The main play feature of this set is the ability to blow open the door to reveal one figure. The space behind the door is small, so you'll only really be able to fit in one figure. There's two Technic pieces you can pull down to open the door, one here and one here. They're attached to the same mechanism, so either one you pull has the same function. The doorways look aesthetically pleasing, but there's no studs for figures to walk through them sadly. For the 4 Rebel Troopers and Stormtroopers fighting, there's specific spots for them to stand where you can use these Technic pieces from earlier to fly them about the Tantive hallway, as if they've been shot. A simple and effective play function. Finally, if you want to recreate Darth Vader's first ever iconic Force choke in the first movie, you can use this transparent cylinder piece to levitate Captain Antilles. In doing so, Captain Antilles is never Force choked in the movie. Maybe Lego and I are tripping out, but they advertise this Force choke as well. Moving on from that Mandela effect, when not in use you can chuck this transparent piece on the back, along with Darth Vader's lightsaber which he can't hold whilst he's standing behind the door. You can also chuck other accessories here, like blasters. And that's the build. Altogether an aesthetically pleasing model fit for display and play. I think this build will be formidable when compared to the Sith Infiltrator. I also love how this build is customizable, with the ability to connect another hallway to the back. I've seen people mirror this set and then connect it, which looks really cool. In the end, this set is definitely one of the better ones of this year. The figures are on point and the build is decent. Only thing pushing it back are some figure quality issues and the build isn't as cool as other LEGO Star Wars builds that are swooshable starships. I believe this set is definitely worth picking up, on sale or not. I'd rate this set an 8.3 out of 10, but let me know your thoughts and ratings in the comments. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Now's the time to like and subscribe. This set turned out really well. The figures make this a very desirable LEGO Star Wars set in my opinion. Make sure to leave a comment to get featured in a Q&A style video. Follow us on Instagram for the latest LEGO news and channel insight, and I'll catch you in the next video.